After a long fight, the people of England are finally free, thanks to the efforts of thousands of brave Englishmen loyal to Queen and country. We have prevailed over our misguided kin, and restored democracy and legitimate monarch upon our blessed throne. Now, however, new challenges arise, and we need a powerful, reformed military to face this brave new world with any hope of remaining afloat. Decades of stagnation and economic downfall have left our armed forces underfunded, undertrained and under-equipped. Our loyal militias have proven their bravery time and time again. We need a professional military. MLD shall undertake decisive reforms to ensure all branches of our RAF are returned to their former glory. Oh, Royal Armed Forces, not RAF. Good, although we just need equipment, I think, to be honest. And we'll be in a reasonable spot. More electioneering. And the Midlands is ours. How are we looking actually overall? 48. That is horrifically close. Definitely one we could lose. That'd be quite an abrupt end things, isn't it? Oh my god, Southern Wales hate us. Didn't really think of the Welsh. In fact, in Scotland's all Labour as well. Interesting. Oh, we keep campaigning, keep campaigning. Okay, well, Midlands was switched, at least. Maybe we go Lancashire next. And 40 days to go. The final act. We've enjoyed friendly relations with Scotland in our past. They were the ones who sent us firearms when nobody else would. They gave us refuge when there was none, and aided our refugees when they'd nowhere else to go. We could just leave them alone as a favour. But there are other reasons to push for a union. So we may call ourselves the UK again. Certainly. I love that. I love that. I mean, we could leave the country alone, or we could invade them and get a cool name. Invasion for a name? However, there are more practical ones than simply an ego boost. Many in Scotland want a union back, and a union would provide Scotland with a high degree of security, something Scotland wishes for desperately. And there are the simple economic benefits to free and unrestricted trade between us. We will give the Scots a fair offer. Every freedom, every benefit, every advantage they have, they can keep. We will not seek to enforce a hierarchy like we've done in the past. Our democratic system is open to all, and the Scottish can see why we would not suffer any hardships if they join with us. And if they don't see reason, we won't hesitate to bring them to their senses. A union, once again. Oh, Social Democrats go back in power. Be interesting. So I think, I don't know how it works actually, it'd be interesting. So if we were Social Democrats and they were Social Democrats, were they more likely to join? Presumably though, this is about to break our focus. Yeah. Womp womp. Where's the Scottish one? Yeah. A light in the north. We have successfully consolidated our power in England and Wales, and it is time to move on to greener pastures. One of the hurdles we must jump before unifying Britain is Scotland. Unlike our forefathers 300 years ago, this Scotland has prepared for invasion since its inception. Since the end of the last Great War, a rivalry has developed between us. I mean, we've only really... Oh no, as a collaborationist government, I understand. Now that the collaborators and their allies have been disposed of, we can talk again of unification. I don't envy you having to have that conversation. Dodgy enough topic at the minute. Let alone if we were free. Right, where are we going to Lancashire again? Oh, we're not done. We're not done yet. Or flip more places. Oh, we're not there. We're not close in Wales. Not even remotely. Let's go, let's keep campaigning. They're fighting over the West Midlands, which is good if they fight. In fact, all these different reds are actually. Group of diplomats. Sorry, excuse me. A group of diplomats walk onto a plane at Heathrow. It leaves the ground early in the morning. In an hour or so, it will be in Edinburgh. When it lands, the negotiation will begin. Negotiations that will determine the fate of the British Isle and the people on it. Negotiations that, if successful, will unify Scotland with England once again. Negotiations that may finally allow us to take the mantle of United Kingdom of old. These will be hard. The Scottish will certainly drive the hardest bargain they can. They will not surrender their freedom for nothing in return. And failure on our part will certainly lead to another massive war on the island, one which exact a large cost in lives on both sides. Let's get them talking. I don't know if I can bring myself, as a Scot, to to invade Scotland as England to end their sovereignty. That hurts. Even as much of a unionist as I am. Oh god. Flat out rejected. Probably because it's, yeah, I think maybe if we had the Democrats and the Liberal Democrats, or maybe even not actually, but maybe if we're both Social Democrats, they might go for it. The plane returns early and the people inside are dreading what they must report to London. But it is already common knowledge at this point, and both Scotland and England know it. The negotiations have failed. In fact, they never had begun. For the past few days, the diplomats and negotiators sat idle in a hotel in Edinburgh as they tried to get in contact with the Scottish government. But Scotland refused to meet, rejecting the possibility of any deal with England, and thus they had to go home without any hope of a peaceful settlement. Both countries are in a panic. Our citizens are panicked of the inevitability of war, our troops mobilising, and so are our enemies. We now have no choice but to win a conflict with our northern neighbour, and to do it quickly. Are we blocked? Yeah, okay, we're blocked until the war ends. Oh, this could be a trickier fight. I'll give them that. Right. Let's... Money be damned, we're short on too many things. How many? 50, that's them all. That is them all. We still have lots of guns. Yes, right. Stop training. Right, we've done pretty well, we're just really short, horribly short of equipment now. Doctrinal debate. Destruction from within is the best plan, says the Specialist Forces man. Scotland has a decent number of people who'd be ideologically agreeable with us. We give them some guns, some explosives, and have them go at it. The nation will crumble in a week. I disagree, says the army man. The only way you can win a war is to straight smash through the enemy lines. We'll have a quick Scottish collapse after that. We'll need to prepare ourselves to attack through the mountains. An attack must be done, but we're thinking of the wrong place, says the navy man. Scapa Flow is our major navy base, and it's in the north. If we take it in a quick operation, we can knock out most of a terrifying arm and have a second front them well. The debate goes on, but England must have a plan. What do we prefer? Well, we don't really have a navy, so that seems a bit silly. Frontal army assault? I mean, we'd win. Mash them. Or do we want to infiltrate them? I'm not sure, actually. Tempted to go Special Forces. You know, play it off as, oh, they asked us to come and invade the country and take it over. Yeah, let's do it. Can't be seen warmongering. We're trying to win an election. Right, they're both in Newcastle. Hopefully solidly mine. 10 days to the elections. And tight. Resistance plan. Glad you've chosen a Special Forces proposal, Prime Minister. Now let's talk about what we're dealing with. Scotland is known to have a group of UK loyalists and English residents. Many of them have fled after the war. Been having problems with the Scottish majority. They're angry, loyal to England, and eager to get back at the government to put London back in control. So our plan is send them guns, explosives, get them to attack critical areas and cause terror and chaos. All the while they're sending information to us. Alright? Let's have some fun. I mean, we obviously have a history as a rebel organisation doing that kind of thing. So it seems to make sense. It's the kind of stuff we'd get up to. Election almost done. House in Shandon. Shandon is a suburb in Edinburgh. The rows of townhomes and narrow streets with thick hedges make a typical and unassuming place. And for the most part, it actually is. But in one building, something peculiar is going on. One of the apartments has been experiencing some interesting activity of late. Strange people arriving. It was a trickle at first, but it grows larger every day. Eventually, the owners will set a limit on how many people can come, setting up another location for them to come in. And a background check will reveal the people all to be English, or at least ideologically similar to London. Sometimes the people who come here are sent to a farm in the countryside. Nobody in the Scottish Government knows what goes on there or what they were doing. When they figure out, it'll be too late for them to act upon that information. Massive blast around. England claimed responsibility. That wasn't the plan. I'm supposed to be subtle about this. Just get them stuff to blow stuff up and say it was us. Big brain time. Right, we're about to have... Uh-oh. Oh, because of the despots. We didn't actually have the 48%. We lost. We're about to go social. Oh. Funny. Months of absence, speeches and rallies, debates, arguments, insults, shouting, heated discussion. Now it all comes down to this. The choice of the people of England. The Socialist Labour Party wins the elections. Ooh. Second time's a charm, it seems. As the SLP finally defeated the National Democratic League at the ballot box, bringing in what PM Harold Wilson called the next phase of English Revolution. The Far Left Party won big in the parliamentary and local elections, giving them broad mandate to carry out their reforms. Many people are now wondering what went wrong for the formerly ruling NDL, especially now ex-Prime Minister George Jellicoe. Some point to failed policies and economic issues. Others say the party was set up to fail from the start, forced to the whims of extreme ends of organisation to keep power, rather than to make actually good policy. Although many believe this will be a problem for the SLP as well, since they're a vocal communist bloc. Harold Wilson's crusade against the great evils that damn the people of England to poverty and want is sure to go ahead with a roaring start. The full several years of NDL rule will be hard to remove entirely, especially for a man who's always gotten on so well with them. This may upset the hardliners in the party. What happens when socialist dreams made English reality something many surely dread? How will the Communist Party work with the Queen? What? No, you're going to kick me out because I... Oh no, that's it. That's the end. What? Thank you for playing for the full content of one of our nations. We have new... Ah, okay. Harold Wilson, we just don't have a focus. I wonder, is that just because... Or is it because this is genuinely the end of it? It's around about 1970, which is the right timeline. I'm not sure. Wonder if we can... Oh no, yeah, all this stuff's opened up. I think it was just the end of the end of the tree. I wonder actually. I'm gonna have a quick check if I can do it. Let's look what the console commands is for ideologies, and we can force ourselves to win the election and see if it changes anything. This has a ruling party, that's not what I want. Add party popularity, there you go. But I don't know what the various ones are. Well, I'll tell you what, let's load back into an autosave. March. Have a little play around and see what we can do. Oh yeah, this splash screen, like I said, is because they have updated the mods, new drop. I didn't want to go to the latest version in case it broke something. But be aware. So the link I put in description is the new version of the mod. So just yeah, we shall see you. Okay, come back. Wow. Was he in 1 month? Yes. Check the elections. Should be almost done. 19 days. Cool. So if we now do... Oh, Cancel up. Here we go. Cheeky. And we go add party popularity. We say, I mean, I don't know, so we'll try democratic, and we'll give ourselves, well, let's check with this. We're currently sitting at 34. We give ourselves, say, a 5% boost. Does that work? E is not a valid ideology. I wonder what they call themselves. Maybe it's Conservative Democrat? I'll give up if this doesn't work. What have I said? Always communists, and then just took a whole bunch of power off them. Oh, it doesn't like communists. I don't know what they use. This might not be possible. I know you don't have a great thing to do in speed. What else have we got? I don't have easy names. I want to see if this was really the end of the content or not. Let's have a look. And party popularity for TNO. Oh. I can understand. Oh, okay. Looks like it's just written out. Alright. We want to do ones. Underscore dem. Let's see. Videos. Democracy. Oh, I didn't. Oh no, social conservative. Ah, okay. Go. Score. Conservative. Added 10 popularity. NDL Democrats. Cool. Well, do you want us to do it again? Go on, turn to. Bug goes away, console goes away. Now what happens? Was this again? Oh, that was a little bit of a massive swing, wasn't it? Anyway, I now want to see if that changes that little end game focus, just to understand whether we that I did truly lose, or if it was just the end of the content. We'll go. Well, I've seen the special force one now. Let's try the army plan. Something a bit different. Alright, Prime Minister, I'm glad to see you a sense of good old-fashioned frontal assault. Let's go over the plans. First chance of victory comes a breakthrough in the border regions. Get through, the Scots will fall, and we'll win Edinburgh within a fortnight. That's how it worked in every battle ever. One side gets through and they wipe out the other. We expect this war to be no different. First, our task is preparing our forces for the job. We can put together a unit of mountain troops, mostly loyalists from Scotland. Right. How far out? 4 days. Two days. 52nd Lowlanders. In the northern Pennines, a special unit gathers. Men from Scotland, disaffected by the recent political trends in the country. Men familiar with the terrain on the country. Men skilled in mountain warfare. The 52nd Lowlanders is the title of this new unit. Its name is a joke. referencing the 51st Highlanders, the premier division of the Scottish military. Only this time they're working for the English, and they're prepared to test their skill with their more famous rival. Of election. That's interesting. Despite popularity, it must be based off just this thing. Okay. So that means we can't tweak it. That's annoying. Now I don't know if we're ending because of we reached the end of the content or not. Oh well. Let's finish the invasion of Scotland then and end the stream. We'll call it done. Prime Minister, everything is set up. The 52nd is ready and our forces are deployed at the border. We're now facing off against Scotland and they're not blinking. The war will break out any day now. It's time for the test. A certain area of the border is an area where the fencing... we're going to do border attack. We are smashing them. The entire island is consumed by sirens. From Wick to Dover, civilians crowd into air raid shelters, fearful of enemy air attacks. Children are being taught to use gas masks and sent away to the countryside. Homeowners are told to set up shelters in the bottom of their homes to escape the enemy air attacks. Those especially close to the front lines are begged to stay in place, lest they clog the roads for fighting men. The border regions, so long a scene of tense, yet quiet tranquility, is now rattled by the sounds of machine guns and artillery fire. Scottish and English cannons attempt to hit the other side, while thousands of guns cover the ground, mowing down anyone who dares cross the lines or poke its head up. In an instant, the piece of the British countryside has turned into Verdun. God save England. Go lads, go! Should be a decidedly one-sided affair. Let's reunify our isles slightly, not all the way as I had hoped. At least we'll get Great Britain unified. Well, okay. Let's run a quick save because I think I might be about to break the game. Double check 4. Yeah. I'm gonna try. Show. Yeah, we'll see if that worked or if it just... Hey, what do you know? We got back in charge. Focus. Fair enough. It may well be there was a couple other things we could have done. At least this way we get to leave it with democracy in charge. I think our downfall, our downfall, like I'm going to blame you guys, was when I was pushing those acts through having to get support with socialists and gave them a massive chunk of the country. You have done the political unification first, which would then given me would have embiggened my liberal standing, or sort of democratic standing, to then push the reforms through. Actually, and also during the first election when I didn't spam those campaigning buttons, I didn't get a pop-up. I know I've got all sorts of things being, but I'll not worry about that because we're drawing towards the end here. Annoyingly, I don't think we'll get to finish our Scotland integration tree either. Which is slightly sad. Come on, England. Are you guys even advancing? You are. Just slowly. Ugh, Dundee is the capital of England and Scotland. What a sad state of affairs. Go to Aberdeen. You go to Inverness. And Dundee shall fall. Good. And so endeth Scotland. I'm assuming they're going to collapse. They aren't going to make me go all the way to Wick.
Ready.
Nobody wants that.
Orders. Let's go. Mouse.
There we go. Yay! Hey, yes, our flag did change. We are a United Kingdom. Ah, we didn't care. Okay. So we end a United Kingdom with, well, actually it should be a Socialist Labour a United Kingdom. Be about Democratic United Kingdom within the OFN. Steadfast against the Germans. And yeah, so that's TNO. So you get about 10 years at minute. Each story gives you about 10 years of content. So yeah, we are towards the end of the storyline, though. Perhaps we would have got to do the Scotland unification, but not always. They don't, you know. Although we had like the army reform focus tree, which we didn't get anywhere near, and that's gonna happen. Some of these side ones you just don't get to finish, as the main event's gonna push you through. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed this run. What is a really interesting mod actually. Takes obviously Hearts of Iron, hugely war focused sandbox game essentially, and puts a whole heap of like storytelling aspect of that. Really interesting. I must admit, I found a lot of the times the actual Hearts of Iron mechanics don't matter that much. I mean, in terms of sorting out your military and all that kind of stuff, haven't been that relevant. It might be if you maybe went for one of the German playthroughs in a massive civil war, but interesting nonetheless. Anyway, I do hope you have enjoyed that. It has been fun. I will be... Well, so this brings us to the end of the New Order playthrough. And so I'll have to find something else to throw up onto YouTube for my next run, which I'm a little undecided on. So you'll have to either tune in next week on Twitch to find out what it is, or those of you on YouTube, well, actually you'll see it the day after this goes live. Or we might be a bit shorter. A couple of days after this goes live on YouTube anyway, you'll see the start of the next playthrough. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.